My name is Ty Frankel. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. Always, even from a very young age, I just really cared about what was going on around me. And I think part of that, just who I am, fighting for the underdog, has led me to where I am today as far as helping employees and often low-income workers who I feel like need it the most.
My name is Patti Syverson. I grew up in San Diego, California. I was always very close with my family. We were always doing things together, and I was involved in a lot of different organizations, and we grew up with a sense of helping people and remaining connected to your community, and that was just kind of the mission of our family. When I was in undergrad, I could see all these people who had dreams of wanting to change the world and make a big difference in people's lives. And so I started to reflect on that and think about how I could do that. For me, that was going to law school and trying to help people through the law.
When I was in undergrad, I worked for a senator who was very devoted to workers as part of his just general belief system, and getting to experience that and realize that there's a human component of being an attorney, that you're not necessarily just representing business versus business, but you can really be helping people, really caused me to think, all right, well, maybe law school is something I can do that will allow me to make a difference in an actual human being's life.
Ty has an unbelievable passion for helping people, and I've never seen anyone care more about his clients. Every person that calls us, it's his utmost priority to make sure that they get exactly what they deserve, and he does it in just a very caring and compassionate way.
Patti is the hardest working person you will ever meet. She will work literally day and night on the cases to get the work done, no matter what it takes, and it's an admirable quality. She's done it for as long as I've known her.
I think we're a good pair because we're very different, but in a good way, and so we're able to play off each other. Even when we're talking through strategies, we come at it from different perspectives, and we talk it through until we meet somewhere in the middle that works for both of us.
It's a really good yin and yang. I would say I might be a little bit more aggressive and she's more reasonable, and I think the balance there really plays itself out well for us to be efficient in litigation and aggressive when we need to be. I always want to be just upfront with people about what all of their options are, especially if someone comes in guns blazing, I want to pursue a lawsuit. I want them to understand what that really could look like for them, because it's a lot of stress and it's a lot of work, and so I want to take on cases to where that effort for the employee, at the end of the day, the benefit outweighs the risk of them taking on all that stress. We primarily represent employees in any sort of employment law matter, but our main focus is helping workers recover wages that they haven't been paid, whether it's unpaid overtime, unpaid minimum wage, unpaid paid sick time in Arizona.
When we have someone call in, we try to take a lot of time to understand all the facts of their case, get the big picture of what things look like from their perspective so that we can fully evaluate what is best for them.
The first conversation when an employee reaches out to us can often be the most difficult, because if an employee is reaching out to an attorney, they're facing something at work that is inherently stressful, and especially when it comes to someone's livelihood, it's how am I going to pay bills, how am I going to feed my family? And so that initial call, getting them from the really stressful moment to how we can help, can be sort of the most difficult part, because you want to hear them out and you want to respect the emotion of the moment, but you also want to give them a path forward and what they can do to actually advance what rights they have under the law.
It's not my goal to file a lawsuit every time someone calls in. A lot of times I don't think that's necessarily the right thing for them or for us. The ideal result is that the client is happy at the end of the day, that they feel vindicated in a certain way by having taken on the employer, that they get some recovery You know, obviously getting every cent that they're owed back would be great, but it's not always about that. It's more giving the employee a voice to explain to the employer what they were upset about, why they think they were wronged, and then to get some recovery back in the end is really ideal.
The reason I went to law school was to make a difference. And so many attorneys, I think, want to do that, but I have the privilege through the unpaid wage litigation to have the opportunity to do that. And oftentimes, the employees we represent are minimum wage workers, hourly workers, workers working 70, 80 hours a week, not getting paid overtime. And to be able to advance their rights in the legal system, workers who may otherwise have thought they would never be able to afford an attorney, they would never have the opportunity to actually stand up to the big company that they're working for, at the end of the day, is sort of what you're an attorney for. There's just something about Arizona and being able to help the workers here, given the fact that this is home, that really just feels especially good.